Disclaimer. The media format we are using is called machinima. The definition of machinima is a method of making animated film using software similar to that designed for making video games. We are currently recording this film in a video game called Halo, as many of you have probably already recognized. We are in trying times, so we wanted this presentation to be fun and lighthearted, alongside being informative and getting our key points across. Our topic for this project is the right to repair. But before we start, there is one thing I want to be made clear. Greetings, wait. Oh,
Affirmative, we are going to shoot. Over.
this was a practice thing. My name is David Castricone, and I am for the right to repair.
My name is Wesley, and I am against the right to repair.
I am for the right to repair because I believe it is a fundamental right that should not be hindered by greedy corporations. The ethical framework I'm going with is the rights approach. This approach starts with the belief that humans have a dignity based on their human nature per se and the ability to choose freely in what they do with their lives. This includes the right to make their own choices and the kind of life they want to lead. When you spend your hard-earned money and take ownership of a product, you should be able to repair it without fear of consequence.
And I'm against the right to repair because of the ethical situation it puts me in. So let's take this situation for example. We have a nice fellow over here who doesn't know much about his phone, but he wants to replace his screen. Now, with all that new technology in the world and it getting smaller and smaller, how is he expected to know what to do to replace that screen? The answer is he doesn't, and he's going to end up hurting himself or others in the process. I cannot ethically accept that.
To disagree because the consequences at foot with that specific scenario are mine to be had. So I believe I should have the right to mess things up with my own property.
Okay, well then let's take another example. Let's say you have a guy out in a rural area working on a tractor, and he wants to get that tractor up and working as fast as possible. So he goes and gets the really big expensive parts, and he starts working on that tractor. But what he doesn't know is that he's doing it all wrong. And the second that he drives that tractor, it's just gonna fall apart.
Alright, perfect. And let me check this side here. Oh, yep. Looking good. Alright, let's get this boy going, and we're just gonna... Ah! You know, everyone these days is worried about getting their devices repaired. They act like there's no way to get anything repaired anymore. Even some even act like grandpas reminiscing the old days of his youth. Back in my day, we had to walk to school uphill both ways in the rain. Oh, what a time. What a time. Let me enlighten you with some knowledge. There are some companies, big companies, that have seen the broken device problem and are trying to fix it. But they can't do it themselves. They're busy people. So they devised a program that ye old mom and pop shops can fall under, train under, and get certified under, and then they can do the repairs for you. So not only are these big companies making profit off of their product, but the little shops are too. Aren't they so amazing? They just give us all we want. Beautiful.
I used to be a Google fanboy. That was until one day I came across their unethical practices. I had a Pixel 4a as a smartphone, and as we all know, accidents happen. Long story short, I had a cracked phone screen. I thought to myself, that'd be an easy fix, just like all the times before. No more than $30 was spent buying replacement glass and a digitizer for my sister's iPhone screens, so this should do the same. But it turned out, Google did not allow the sale of their screens or digitizers to anyone who was not an authorized Google repair technician. So I had no other option except to take my phone to a repair shop that Google seemed worthy, and pay someone else to fix my phone. Not only was this more expensive, costing me $100 instead of $30, I also had to go a whole day without my phone, since the repair shop had a backlog of devices to fix. That is when the right to repair became an issue in my life.
Let's talk about the medical world. There are many huge machines used to monitor and measure someone who is in the hospital. There are also technological devices that help assist during surgery. These devices eventually break down, and in some instances, accidents can happen that cause them to break down earlier. These parts for these technological advances are currently not accessible by the public. The only way you can get the parts and get it fixed is if you have a professional sent by the company that makes the product come out and fix it for you. Even the smallest mistake while repairing these machines or tools can lead to a death of a patient down the road. You really want to make sure that the person doing the repair knows what they're doing. So when it comes to getting the repair done, make sure that the company can proudly say they know how to repair it and they are willing to warranty it. Don't let your doctor think he's an electrician. He doesn't know how to repair your heart monitor.
That's a fair point to be had when it comes to things such as medical equipment, which is used in life or death scenarios. That needs to be left to the professionals who know how to repair it. But what I'm making the argument for is consumer goods and electronics, such as cell phones, tablets, stereo systems, things of that nature, that have actually been made harder to repair over the years by these companies. Like the example I gave before, where with my Google Pixel 4a, how Google was very stingent about who had access to parts, and I had to spend more money to take it to a repair shop. So that just causes more financial burden on me and others, and of course the companies want you to buy a newer phone instead of replace it, or newer anything instead of repair your old one, which leads to just more e-waste. That's why I believe we need to make legislation to where protecting consumers on these unethical practices that certain companies have.
A lot of people have actually been led to believe that if you open or repair a product yourself, or seek unauthorized repairs from different providers, that you void your warranty. I myself have always thought this to be true, but it turns out that is a lie. According to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission rules governing warranties, those stickers are actually illegal, and companies cannot automatically void warranties if you use an independent service or yourself.
I didn't know. How did I not know? So did you know Tesla has a thing called a supercharger? What it does is it lets you charge your car really fast. But the problem with the right to repair and these superchargers is you get an aftermarket battery put into your car. That battery might not be compatible with the supercharger, but that supercharger doesn't know. So once you go and charge your car, you have a chance of not only damaging the car, but you also have damaging the supercharger. In return, the supercharger is going to continue damaging other cars until it is fixed. Or keep in mind, these superchargers are public use, so they don't get checked on very often. What do you have to say about that?
I'll fill in.